So, I am suffering from another coworker crush, and the worst thing about being fat in an increasingly fat phobic society where body acceptance is like become less and less, I don't know, trendy, I guess, but is that when you tell someone that when you like another person, like I told a friend of mine who's also a coworker that I had a crush on this guy, and not really much engagement with it, right? Not much, like not asking questions, not being excited, and like things that I notice other friends of mine when they have crushes, non plus size girls having crushes on people. There's always so much engagement in the conversation of like, oh, what's he like? Like, is he flirting back with you? Is he all these questions about the dynamic of it, right? And I keep being reminded of like, it is so hard for people to imagine plus size people in like romantic situations. And this one friend that I confided in and like told about this crush. It was only this one person. I'm not spreading it around. I'm not even trying to like be in a relationship with a coworker. I've done that before. I only had to do it once to know it was a horrible idea. Well, I knew it was a bad idea before. I only had to do it to realize just, how much of a bad idea it was, right? It's not something I want to repeat, right? But you also I can't help like having a crush, and I get crushes really easily, and I like having crushes. Like it feels good to like want someone. Anyway, this friend is like a matchmaker in the friend group or at work, right? Like she is constantly talking about like, or she's like just plugged into like who's dating who's into who, like whatever, like are you single, are you not single? Doesn't really ask me that stuff, right? Asks everyone. And I know this because I've been there while she's doing this.
So this is, I mean, it's not, we don't really beat someone already down, but when we continue to ignore the very real reality that most people want people that are in some sort of shape, that do take care of themselves, that that is more of the norm in terms of desirability than it is not. This is just a reaction of you engaging in market forces. Right? I can have something, and often you come across this in real estate. When you value your home that you want to sell, you value it because there's an emotional attachment to it. You have memories built in there, but the value of the place is what someone is willing to pay. When people are generally saying, I'm not really interested in this product, you're the problem. And I don't want that to come across as harsh, and I don't think it should. But this can be a very sensitive topic because we have an obesity issue in the United States, and this is not to say that obese people do not get married, do not have children, are not valued, are not attracted, that they don't have sex. See it all the time. This is a common occurrence. But when you look at it just from the market type of point of view, this is always going to sort of be an issue when you think the world is increasingly fat phobic, okay, right? But that's not going to change. You're not going to change the view and scope of the world because you're unhappy with it, because you personally don't care. It's it's one of those stark reminders that you're not bigger than the program. And I think we all need those reminders now and again, some more than often, that despite how you may value yourself to say a company, say to whatever job you're in, the job is was probably there before you, job will be there after you. Your contribution, while noteworthy, is not the end all be all. You cannot by yourself in most scenarios change the dating landscape of how things are. You can start, with bringing more light, more attention to things, but in terms of people's personal desires, that's very, very tricky. There's so much that goes into that in terms of even childhood experiences, right? In terms of programming, in terms of what society says is sort of attractive, what they put in front of us when we were younger, what they put in front of us today, and then of course what biologically we're sort of driven towards. It's not one of those things that we could say that it's not fair. These are things that are intrinsic. A lot of these are things that are intrinsic, and it doesn't matter if it's fair. You don't want to be with someone, right? And I'm trying to speak generally here, right? You don't want to be with someone you're not attracted to. You don't want to be with someone that you learned to get over your lack of attraction to them. Right? We all, when we're all desirous of partners, we want them to desire us too. We want to be wanted. That's a very normal human thing to expect and want. And in her case, when you're watching your friends not seem interested in what you have to say in terms of matchmaking, in terms of your crush, because they probably, like you said, are more clued in to who likes whom, who's around whom, who's talking about these things. Your name's probably not coming up like you think it should, like you might want it to. And even when we do this, we have this thing that we often do. We try to downplay what we really want. Right? I'm not really interested in my crush, or I've done that before and with a coworker, and I don't have to do it again. Then this is a non-story. In reality, these things matter to us. These things bother us when we aren't the apple of someone's eye, especially someone that we are interested in. It's crushing when our crush is not crushing on us. But that's normal, right? Let's get rid of the downplaying and make it sound like it's not an important thing. It's enough where you hit record and post this online. So we can all agree, or at least become, let's start walking on the path and saying, no, this is important. This matters. If it matters enough to you that you're constantly not in this sort of group think where people are talking about who they are attracted to. It's one of those lessons in life where it's indirectly sort of telling you this is an opportunity to do one or two things, or maybe more. But I'm going to give you two things: work on yourself physically. Two, go where people are attracted to, right? You a physical type. That's it, right? It what you decide to do is definitely upon you and what you prefer, what matters to you. But those are your options. What we see in the society that we've created today, we have a more of a propensity to sit back and voice our discontent with the thing rather than solve it, rather than say, what can I do with myself to change these things? We're doing this while we're coupled with in a society where we're more interconnected than ever. We have more information than we have. We have more resources to do the things that we're desirous of. If you want to get in shape, the secrets are not locked behind a firewall. They're not locked behind a magazine subscription. They're not locked behind gym goers either. It's all online. The same phone you use to record this and hit play, right, or upload this. It's the same phone that can get you where you want to be. That also goes for finding people that are into your body type. That's just going and looking and seeing where your people are, where your tribe is, and going there. And no longer sort of lamenting that other people aren't attracted to you that you would like them to be. And it's not fair because we're a fat phobic society. Well, go to the pockets where they actually enjoy that. That's not really a hard thing to do. And it's going to get you closer to whatever goal you're looking for rather than wanting the world to sort of change and acquiesce and bend the knee to be into who you are. The world is also going to, other people are going to say, you're crushing on, like, this is something that men often don't get to say. When even say on dating apps or in person, when the rare opportunities when women shoot their shot with them and the men say, I'm not attracted to her. They're vilified for that. Right? You're vilified for saying that you have desires of your own. Otherwise, you would be have to be considered human as well. When men often reject women, so just physically say, that's not my type, I'm not into her, you're looked at as some sort of creep. You can't see past that. But I want to go back to say, you want to be with someone that you're attracted to. You don't want to be with a man that saw past how little attraction he had for you and just said, well, I'm with her because she's a really good person. And then the first thing you complain about, we don't have any real intimacy. It says, I don't have any physical intimacy for you. But you as a person I love, you want both. And it's fine to want both. You just have to do what you have to do to be attractive to the people you're attracted to. I think it's said in a complex way, but it's a very fair thing. But if you think I missed something, let me know down in the comments. And of course, if you see videos on your screen, that means I am doing my job well. Take a look at those. Let me know what you think of those as well. And of course, if you listen to sound my voice after nearly 10 minutes of ranting, right, and you haven't subscribed, you're killing me. I'll see you guys in the next one.